Welcome to the Now. Today, going into more detail with respect to concepts that I've been delving into. The Courage to be Disliked, a book talking specifically about Alderian psychology and how to reformulate your life so that you feel more fluid in a way, perchance. So, this specific post is with respect to a chapter in the book called Life is Not a Competition. And it ties into this concept that I've been cultivating for a while now, where I strongly believe in parallels and not comparisons. And so in Alderian view, as opposed to visualizing life in the context of winners and losers, where you're climbing a ladder and there's people ahead of you and there's people behind you and you're always comparing yourself to these other people to kind of gauge if you're a success or a failure, Adler talks about motion on a straight plane, and that we're all walking that straight plane, and there is no higher and there is no lower. And so it's not a competition and there are no comparisons. And I find that extremely refreshing because that's life in a nutshell. Briefly stated, because this book does a great job of going into detail, but in a very digestible and understandable way. It just states that the more you compare, the more you utilize that equation to pin yourself against things, the more you ascribe to that notion of winners or losers, as opposed to simply being present and creating parallels. And so that you stay in motion, not going up or going down, but just being in motion. And that motion taking you where it is that you truly want to go. Now, in this Life's Not a Competition chapter, he refers to, or the book refers to, feelings of inferiority and feelings of superiority. And the book does, again, a great job at defining what those things are. But just to give you a little blurb about this chapter, or what I decided to underline in this specific chapter. So it's stated that it's enough to just keep moving in a forward direction without competing with anyone. And, of course, there's no need to compare oneself with others. And it also states that a healthy feeling of inferiority is not something that comes from comparing oneself to others. It comes from one's comparison to one's ideal self. So that using comparison is not necessarily inherently negative. Just like being able to dive into your past or project your future is not inherently negative. It's just negative when it becomes constant, when that's your only point of referral. And so, in more detail, as stated in the book, all of us are different. Gender, age, knowledge, experience, appearance. No two of us are exactly the same. So let's acknowledge in a positive manner the fact that other people are different from us, and that we're not the same, but are equal. Everyone's different, but whatever differences we may have, we're equal. And so we don't walk in order to compete with someone. It's in trying to progress past who one is now that there is value. And again, that's why being in the present is so efficient and beneficial and your greatest source of presence, because it's in the now that you will realize all the gifts that you have to help you catapult towards that ideal self that you're looking to create or that you're looking to redefine or whatever it is that you're up to. And so it's up to you. It's up to you to appreciate that you choose the tools that you use to see the world the way you want to now. And based on those tools, you can have this perspective that life's hard and that you're always competing to get what it is that you want. Or you can come to this idea that it's not a competition. It's just about cultivating presence and staying in movement. So that's my little bit from this book, The Courage to Dare to Be Disliked. I was about to say The Courage to Dare Greatly, because as I'm sure you know if you've been tuning in, I recently finished Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, and these two books are very closely related, yet very different, not in comparison, but in parallel. Both highlight extremely valid and easy to understand concepts that could definitely help promote wellness in the now, in your life, as it has in mine, as it will continue to have in mine. So, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more. I'll have more inspiration, more sources of knowledge, and all the shebang on this station. So, sign up if you haven't already. Leave comments at any point, whether it's constructive criticism, whether it's your own anecdote, anything. Have a wonderful now. Keep tuning in. Peace out.